Renegades of Puck to the trenches. It's time for Renegades of Puck TV. Welcome to the bunker. Welcome to the essence of no half-stepping. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier, and we sure would appreciate if you would start out by going to renegadesofpuck.com. Once you're there, you'll find access points to everything you need to know about the Renegades of Puck, especially that link to our merchandise page. From the classic logo t-shirt to our brand new Pride line of logo t-shirts, you will find just about everything with the Renegades of Puck logo on it. We've sold out so that you can buy in. Take a look. Socks, throw pillows, wall art, bed sets. Whatever it is, we've put our logo on it. We want to go ahead and generate some income for the Renegades of Puck and for the bunker. So made by Renegades for Renegades, that's how you can help us out, by purchasing some of our gimmicks right there at renegadesofpuck.com. Also, we could use your help on social media. We're doing a great job, and we're really building our subscription base up on YouTube, so we sure would appreciate if you would continue sharing those links. Every time you help us out by sharing one of those, it really goes a long way in the digital world to helping out the Renegades of Puck. Once the links are posted on YouTube, please share them on Facebook. You can find us right there very easily. You can also find us on Twitter. Give us a retweet. Give us a like right there. Go to Instagram. We try to do different presentations for all the different social media platforms, so it's not just the same thing over and over again, just a link to the show over and over in every one of your timelines. So whatever it is you prefer as far as social media, you can find the Renegades of Puck. Remember, you can also find the audio version of the show in classic podcast form. For those of you who used to listen to us on the radio and now follow us onto YouTube, the old version is still available, and we post that on SoundCloud. So again, just another way for you to consume the essence of no half-stepping. And of course, our live Twitch feed. It's our behind-the-scenes feed, so if there are any mistakes or second takes or anything else that happens, bonus content, therapy sessions, you'll find it all right there on our live stream on Twitch. You get the information right there first. As a matter of fact, on this particular episode, everybody got to see me drop a couple of F-bombs on the first take of this particular monologue that you're listening to right now. But you won't have to deal with that because you're watching the fully produced version on YouTube. Now, you can become a partner of the show, and I am so thankful and appreciative of each and every one of you who have reached out through Venmo or by scanning the QR code that's right there on your screen now. Any donation helps. Got a brand new set of pens the other day. Got a new microphone I'm looking to install. We are doing incredible things here in the bunker. You can see the improvements as donations are coming in. So again, be a partner of the show and help out the Renegades. Built by Renegades for Renegades, your support just allows us to do bigger and better and bolder things coming up. And speaking of bolder things, by the end of this week, Renegades of Puck, I hope to have some information and announcements that will allow each and every one of us to get together sometime very soon. I'll just have to tell you for now, stay tuned. Next episode of Renegades of Puck TV, I hope to have more information for you. Now, you come here for the No Half-Steppin' Hockey coverage, so let's get right into it. Show number 598 for the Renegades of Puck. That's right. Coming up this weekend will be another milestone for the Renegades of Puck in the Great Hockey War. Show number 600. Our great time on radio, 554 episodes, and now rounding up to 600 over the first half of the season here as Renegades of Puck TV on YouTube. So incredibly proud to have accomplished what we have so far, but we are just getting started here in the trenches. No half-stepping means we don't stop at 598, 99, 600. We go way beyond, and we keep going until we decide it's no longer time to do the broadcast. Now, your Nashville Predators are in first place in the Central Division after 37 games played. With this sample size, it is no longer just a mistake. It is, in fact, that the Nashville Predators are a very good hockey team. And after tonight's victory over the Colorado Avalanche on home ice, which we will recap in great detail in just a moment, they find themselves with a record of 24-11-2, 50 points on the season, has them 3 points clear of the second place Colorado Avalanche, and the third place St. Louis Blues. The Minnesota Wild are 6 points behind the Nashville Predators, and then the rest of the division goes Winnipeg, Dallas, Chicago, and Arizona. On home ice, which the Nashville Predators have not played that much on this season, they are 11-5. They've scored 117 goals, and they have 99 goals scored against. So for the Nashville Predators, once they wrap up this next game against the Buffalo Sabres, they will be back on the road where they have had quite a bit of success this season. 13 victories on the road. That will head off to Boston on Saturday, and then Montreal, and then Monday they will be at St. Louis. Tuesday they'll be back home against Vancouver, the 20th versus the Winnipeg Jets, and the 22nd versus the Detroit Red Wings. Now, this is the first of two meetings against the Eastern Conference's Buffalo Sabres. The Buffalo Sabres are a bad hockey team. You probably already know that. With a record of 10-19-6 and only 26 points, that has them sixth in the Atlantic. They have a record of 4-8-4 on the road and a goal differential that has them at -33. Currently on a lengthy losing streak. I'll just take you back to the last five. On the 29th of December, it was a 4-3 loss versus the New Jersey Devils. On the 30th, a 4-1 loss at the New York Islanders, then a 4-3 overtime loss at Boston, a 3-2 overtime loss versus San Jose, and a 6-1 loss versus the Tampa Bay Lightning just earlier this evening. Subban pulled out of this one after going 23 out of 27. They'll face off against the Red Wings in Detroit on Saturday for their next game. It's a bad hockey team, and the Nashville Predators have to have themselves prepared. This will be the first of two meetings of this regular season. The Nashville Predators will head off to Buffalo on April the 1st, right there near the end of the season. Now, when you look at the NHL ranks, it is quite a mismatch between these two teams. The Nashville Predators at 3.14 goals per game is 14th best in the NHL, while 2.57 per game for the Buffalo Sabres is 26th in the league. Goals against, 3.47 for Buffalo and 2.60 for the Nashville Predators. I do not think the goals for and goals against separation, margin of separation, has been quite so dramatic at any point in time this season for the Nashville Predators. The Preds are generating 29.3 shots on goal per game, while Buffalo is also generating 29.3 shots on goal. Buffalo is giving up 34.1, while the Preds are giving up 31.2. The Preds have the fifth best power play in the NHL, converting at 27% of the time. Buffalo has the 14th rated power play overall in the league. And on the penalty kill, the Preds are rated 82.5% and have given up 22 power play goals against on the season. Now, unfortunately for the Nashville Predators, we found out just before tonight's game against the Colorado Avalanche that Yakov Trenin would be added to the COVID list, and Philip Forsberg still on the COVID list. Hopefully he will be able to be returning to the lineup here very soon. Borowiecki, injured in the game tonight, had to leave early, leaving the Predators with five defensemen. We'll cover what happened with that situation here in just a couple of minutes during the full game recap. But afterwards, John Hines, the head coach of the Nashville Predators, in his media scrum, said that he anticipated Borowiecki should be fine. We don't know if he should be fine means he'll be ready to play in the next game against the Buffalo Sabres, or if he is currently day-to-day. Hopefully, we'll be finding out. Sean C. Smith should have an update for us here later in the show. Now, for the Nashville Predators, a couple of very highly skilled and talented individuals lead this team in scoring, and it is the captain of the Nashville Predators at number one, Roman Josi. 12 goals and 25 assists for 37 points on the season. Add another 3 assists to that total tonight. Mikhail Granlund, 5 goals and 28 assists for 33 points. Matt Duchene, 16 goals on the season now, 17 assists for 33 points. Ryan Johansson at 10 and 19 for 29. Forsberg, unfortunately not in the lineup right now. 29 points being missed, especially those 18 goals. Tanner Jeannot adds another goal, 12 plus 11 now for 23 on the season. Tanner Jeannot is simply having an incredible season. Now, the Buffalo Sabres do have some skilled individuals, but overall, they are a bad hockey team. Now, Thompson leads the team in scoring, 12 and 11 for 23 points. Dahlin at 6 and 16 for 22. Kyle Okposo, 7 goals and 14 assists for 21 points. Olofsson, 5 goals and 15 assists for 20 points. And Skinner, 11 goals and 8 assists for 19 points for the Nashville Predators. They've done relatively well against the Eastern Conference this season, but no letdown now after this huge tilt against the Colorado Avalanche on home ice tonight. The Nashville Predators must remain focused, and I guarantee you'll hear an awful lot from John Hines over the course of the next 2 days, where he preaches that this is a culture game and this is a game about the identity. He has done an incredible job of staying on message and beating that message into this Nashville Predators team. You're not seeing them falter in typical trap-type scenarios like in Arizona or recently against Chicago. Now, normally, with a 5-game winning streak, I would suggest that the Buffalo Sabres game is a trap game. But so far, John Hines has shown an ability to keep his teams from walking into the very trap that is set by a bad Eastern Conference team. If the Preds remain focused, they will continue winning, and then they will have a couple of incredibly tough matchups coming up just after that, Saturday in Boston and Monday in St. Louis. It's now time for the Rebirth Sports full game recap, rebirthsports.com. You can check them out right there, or you can go to social media, Facebook, Twitter, and just search for Rebirth Sports, and you will find an incredible jersey company. Not just jerseys, they're hockey tailors, and they are an incredible partner here to the Renegades of Puck. I am so proud and so lucky to have such great partners with Rebirth Sports. Right now, we have Renegade couriers dispatched across the hockey landscape thanks to the incredible generosity and partnership of Rebirth Sports, and those couriers are delivering the brand new Renegades of Puck road jerseys to select High Council of Renegade members. Make sure you are watching for those deliveries, Renegades. You never know whose doorstep one might show up on. Rebirth Sports has made that happen. They've taken my vision for this jersey and made it come to life. Everyone asks me, where did you get your jerseys made? And I tell them every single time, Rebirth Sports, and then I go on extensively about how great Rebirth Sports is. You see the jerseys on the screen, whether it's league play, tournament play, U.S. Pond Hockey Championship play, wherever it is, Rebirth Sports is represented, and they're looking better than anybody else out there on the ice. They can do that for your operation, your organization, too. So check them out, rebirthsports.com, or social media, Facebook, Instagram. Let them know we were talking about them here in the trenches on Renegades of Puck TV. Now, let's get into that full Rebirth Sports game recap. It was all the way back, well, just about an hour ago at Bridgestone Arena. It was officially January the 11th of the year 2022, and John Hines deployed his lines like this. Cousins, Johansson, and Cunnin, Tolvanen, Granlund, and Duchesne, Luff, Sissons, and Janot. Cole Smith back up with the Nashville Predators. McCarron and Tomasino round out your fourth line. Yossi and Benning make up your first defensive pairing. Ekholm and Carey, Borowiecki, and Fabro back into the lineup. UC Saros, of course, gets the start in net. We are just 47 seconds into the first period, and Tolvanen's shot hits the stick, then the post. It looked like a goal live and in real time, but once you see the replay, just a couple of incredible bounces right here for Tolvanen, and unfortunately for the Predators, this puck does not find its way into the net. 1:18 of the first period, Granlund's attempt is covered by Kemper. The Preds are just flying out here through the first couple of rotations of the lines. 2:32 of the first period, we see Tanner Jeannot with his 12th goal of the season. The shot hits Jeannot in the low slot. He finds the puck before anybody else, fires and finishes, giving the Nashville Predators a 1-0 lead on home ice. Tanner Jeannot now leads all rookies in goals with 12 on the season. 2:49 of the first period, UC Saros comes up with a save on Makar with the shoulder. At 4:41, Borowiecki puts Johnson into the bench with a huge open ice hit. Fabro, 2 minutes for interference at 4:51, but the Nashville Predators penalty kill would prevent any shots on goal by the high-skilled Colorado Avalanche players. 8:53 of the first period, Tolvanen's off to the box, 2 minutes for tripping. Saros comes up with a save on Rantanen from the circle. 4 shots on goal this time for the Avalanche, and lots of possession for Colorado. Definitely wearing down the Nashville Predators penalty kill, but the penalty kill was able to hold. At 13:55, Luff misses the net on a partial breakaway. 15:15, Ekholm drives the net hard for a full ice rush, and Kemper has to come up with a blocker save. At 18:29, Cousins' shot has to be stopped by Kemper after a turnover just outside of their own blue line. At 19:05, Cunnin's giving the Nashville Predators a 2-0 lead with the 6th goal of the season. He fans on the wrist shot, creating a curveball that slides right under the leg pad and into the back of the net. It was not the shot that he intended, but it was the shot that the Nashville Predators needed, and they have a 2-goal lead on home ice. 19:53 of the first period, Newhook's off to the box. 2 minutes for tripping, giving the Nashville Predators a power play that would carry over for 1 minute and 53 seconds into the second period. At the end of the first period, Preds have a 2-goal lead and are out shooting Colorado 12-9. On that 1:53 carryover into the second period, Kemper would have to come up with a save on Granlund on the doorstep, but that would be it for the Nashville Predators. At 4:03, Saros comes up with a save on McDermott. 7:45, Saros a save on Newhook off of the rush. And then at 8:15 of the second period, Avi Kubel gets his 5th goal of the season. It was a rebound put back into the open net after Makar led the rush and had an incredible setup for this goal. The Colorado Avalanche are on the board. The Nashville Predators have a 2-1 lead. Colorado is taking over the period and absolutely tilting the ice in their favor. At 11:48 of the second period, Burakovsky gets his 13th goal of the season, tying the game up at 2 apiece. But this situation was definitely needs to be discussed a little bit. The goal was scored while Borowiecki was down. He blocked a shot in the hip, lower ribs area, and he was definitely injured. Now listen, you know hockey players, they're not going to stay down on the ice unless they absolutely have to. The way he stayed down on the ice made everybody in the building and everybody watching extremely concerned for his health and well-being. The referee did not blow the whistle, and on the continuation while Borowiecki was down, the Colorado Avalanche put the puck into the net. Now, Everybody was concerned. Borowiecki stayed down for quite a bit of time before eventually being helped off. He would not return. We've already updated you and said John Hines said he is okay, but we honestly do not know exactly what that means or if he is in fact injured in any way. But this was a terribly, horribly scary situation to see a man of that level of toughness being down on the ice, basically just prone, almost face down on the ice, and the play just continuing around him. Thankfully, he was not hit by a second shot or anything else. The referee has now explained that because he was not hit in the head area, then possession was maintained by the Colorado Avalanche, that they were able to continue the play. I think they should have blown the play dead. I think any other league in the world at that moment would have blown that play dead. But the NHL, they're going to carry on. We'll have more on this from Sean C. Smith coming up here in just a couple minutes. So we have a brand new hockey game just about midway through. 13:37 of the second period. UC Saros comes up with a save on Taves of the back post. The edge work is otherworldly and just simply incredible. I can't wait to hear Mashopoulos talk about that coming up in the next segment. 16:46, Kemper comes up with a save on Benning's one-hopper. 17:25, Luke Cunning's got his 7th goal of the season. It's a redirect in the low slot off of Cousins' pass. Hard on the forecheck. This line does a great job generating their own scoring opportunity and then converting. The Nashville Predators find themselves ahead by a goal again, 3-2 at the end of the second period. Now shots on goal in favor of Colorado, 23-21. So the Preds were up 2 after 1. Now they're up 1 after 2. We go into the third period of this highly entertaining game at Bridgestone Arena. 2:27 into the third period. Saros comes up with a toe save on a wraparound. 3:16 in the third period. UC Saros comes up with a save on Joe's deflection in the low slot. At 4:13, Johansson box, 2 minutes for picks up 2 more for roughing on the way, but he managed to get Johnson also take a 2-minute penalty for roughing. We would see a power play for the Colorado Avalanche, and McKinnon would be converting with his 6th goal of the season, tying the game up at 3 apiece. A one-timer from the left circle. Ovechkin's office was open for business tonight. 7:38 of the third period. UC Saros comes up with a save on Kadri at 8:36. Rantanen's off to the box. 4 minutes for high sticking. Johansson's got a leaky nose off of the situation. It was a chop from low to high that went right across the beak of Johansson, giving him a bloody nose. So Duchesne is putting the puck in the net for the Nashville Predators, giving them a 4-3 lead. His 15th goal of the season. He kicked the rebound to his stick and then beats Kemper on that opportunity. Then UC Saros comes up with a huge shorthanded save on the second power play of the 4 minutes. At 13:19 of the third period, Cal McCarr, his 16th goal of the season. Just some crafty maneuvers around the zone to set up a scoring opportunity, absolutely using the traffic to his benefit, and then sniping UC Saros. Bar down. Incredible individual, high-skilled, highlight reel goal here by Cale McCarr, tying this game up at 4 apiece. And in a game that was advertised as 2 of the best defensemen in the NHL, and Yossi and McCarr, they both delivered the goods in this one. 17:42 of the third period. UC Saros comes up with a huge save before we head to the back of the sheet, which means we have one hell of a high-event, entertaining hockey game going on at Bridgestone Arena. At 18:01 of the third period, we see a bench minor on the Colorado Avalanche. Too many men on the ice. Kemper would come up with a save on Duchesne on the power play for the Nashville Predators, but mostly we would see the remaining seconds of the game just tick away. We would head to overtime with the Nashville Predators being outshot by Colorado 39-30. Now, because of the carryover of the power play, that leads to a bizarre 4-on-3 for 7 seconds, and then instead of the normal 3-on-3, we have a 4-on-4 up until we get a first whistle, and they can reset and go to 3-on-3. Now, let's play hockey. 35 seconds into the overtime, Saros comes up with a save on McKinnon. It's his 40th shot against of the game. At 1:33, Saros comes up with a save on McKinnon. And then at 2:18, Kemper comes up with a save on Roman Josi. Looked like the Nashville Predators were going to put this game away right here, but Kemper holds strong. 2:32 of the overtime, another bench minor on the Colorado Avalanche for too many men, and Matt Duchesne is finishing the game off. This time, the shot hits a Colorado Avalanche player, and while the Colorado Avalanche player is down, Matt Duchesne gets the loose puck and fires it into the net, beating Kemper and giving the Nashville Predators a 5-4 victory in overtime on home ice. Now, the Colorado Avalanche ended up out-shooting the Nashville Predators 44-32. The Preds were up 2-0 in this game, up 3-2, and up 4-3, and find themselves winning 5-4 in overtime. That was one hell of a hockey game at Bridgestone Arena tonight. First place was on the line, and the Nashville Predators certainly represented themselves very well. That Colorado Avalanche team is a strong hockey team, and there is no doubt these two teams are going to go toe-to-toe plenty more times. Perhaps, maybe even in the late spring in a best-of-7. The way the Central Division is shaping up right now, it is starting to get a little bit top-heavy with the upper echelon teams in the Nashville Predators, the St. Louis Blues, and now, of course, the Colorado Avalanche. I think it's going to remain those three teams as we go through the second half of the season, but the hockey season can always reveal some incredible twists and turns. So we will, of course, be here at Renegades of Puck TV, tracking each and every one of those twists and turns. UC Saros has just simply been incredible as of late. What else can you say about him? 40 out of 44 in the game tonight. That's his fourth consecutive game of facing 40-plus shots against. He's 5-0 in the last 5 games, 202 out of 213, a .948 save percentage, and a 2.20 goals against average. And yes, he gave up 4 goals tonight against the Colorado Avalanche, but guess what? So does everybody else in the NHL. Still an incredible run right now for the starting goaltender and the franchise goaltender of the Nashville Predators, UC Saros. He's back in the trenches tonight, so I have to kick it over to Nostradamus to tell me everything about what happened with the Nashville Predators and the Colorado Avalanche, but especially from the perspective of Between the Pipes tonight and UC Saros. You can find him on Twitter at GreekGoalie35. You can watch him right here on Renegades of Puck TV. He's been the starting goaltender of Renegades of Puck for a long time.
Thank you very much, Charlie. What more could you possibly ask for at Bridgestone Arena? Two of the hottest teams in the league just happen to be division rivals. The Colorado Avalanche and the Nashville Predators put on a show on Broadway, 5-4 in overtime for Nashville getting the W. Their 5th win in a row, and both these teams coming in, again, absolutely red hot. The Preds were 11-1-1 in their last 13 games heading to this one. Avalanche 10-1 in their last 11 games heading to this one. That one loss, by the way, last time they played Nashville in Bridgestone Arena, 5-2. Remember that game with all the COVID issues on both sides. So Nashville, again, huge victory. And, despite the fact they don't have Philip Forsberg, they were going toe-to-toe with the league's best offense. Colorado has scored 4 more goals every game since they've been back from Christmas break. They're just an absolute powerhouse. They showed it again tonight. UC Saros, of course, did everything he could to keep that scoring down. But again, they found a way. Now, despite that, the Preds never trailed in this game. All the back-and-forth action that you could ask for, the Preds were either in the lead or tied. So they weren't chasing the game. They made Colorado chase on the second of back-to-backs, no less. So maybe that had something to do with the end of the game. Who knows, with some of the decision-making on Colorado's bench. You never know. But Nashville, of course, comes out victorious in this one. Now, I've talked about it on the show before. Darcy Kuemper is 16-5 now in the season, and he hasn't had to be great. He's got a .908 save percentage and a 2.77 goals against. That's not fantastic numbers by any stretch of the imagination, but he's got such great offense in front of him where they kind of cover up some of his weaknesses. Well, this was a night, of course, that Colorado could not do that for him. He got a piece of a couple of the goals that got by him. He didn't have any chance whatsoever on either of the Matt Duchene power play goals. But the one I really want to talk about was the second goal. That was Luke Kunin's first goal of the night that put the Preds up 2-0. It was a turnover in their own zone. Roman Josi gets the puck, gets it over to Kunin, who's in the high slot. He's skating in. He has room. No Colorado defender is coming after him. They're actually preventing him from making any sort of passes. Darcy Kuemper reacts and actually guesses that he's going to pass it back to Josi on the left side there. You see this on the replay that they showed multiple times from the opposite side of the rink. You see a very clear view of it. Kuemper actually moves to his right, anticipating a pass from Luke Kunin. So Kunin, despite the fact he didn't get a whole lot of that on that shot, he beat him 5-hole because he was trying to get back in position to face the shot. It was not square to him whatsoever. Completely guessed on it, and he guessed wrong. That is something you cannot do as a goaltender, particularly a guy in a position that Kunin was in. He's 15 feet in front of you in the perfect spot on the ice, and he was guessing pass all the way on that one. So definitely an error on Darcy Kuemper on that one. You could tell he did not like giving up that goal one bit. UC Saros, par for the course. Outstanding as always. Stopped 40 out of 44. It's the 4th straight game that the Preds have given up at least 40 shots on goal against. And Saros, again, stopping them to victories. It's not a great formula to have when you're looking at that many shots, but when you have somebody like UC Saros, who's a Vezina candidate, and I'll say it over and over again, he is a Hart Trophy candidate. Mace mentioned it on the broadcast as well. You cannot underestimate how important he is to this team. I know a lot of guys have been playing well. Duchesne is back into form. Forsberg's had a tremendous season. Johansson is back into form, it seems, as well. But UC Saros backstopping this team is stealing games left and right and getting the Preds in position to be first place in the Central and first place out west at this point in the season. So again, UC Saros, magnificent job in net. Made huge saves when they needed to. The save on Devon Taves on the one-timer on the back door when the game was tied and everything going against the Preds at that point. He was able to smother that one, read it very well, took the angle correctly as well to keep that puck from going in. So again, UC Saros, the key to this one. Next up for the Preds, you would think a possible trap game, but it seems like this team is different than teams past. You look at the Laviolette teams, you definitely get a trap game out of Buffalo Sabres coming into town. A very bad Buffalo Sabres team, a 6-game losing streak. They've lost 13 out of their last 15, whereas the Preds have now won 12 of their last 14. So everything seems to be, well, it should be, lay it down, put your money on the Preds to win it. But again, John Hines has instilled in this team, you cannot take anything for granted. We've seen that before. We see them in the third periods kind of let down a little bit, and they have to hold on to leads late. So Buffalo Sabres, again, not a good team, but for those last 6 losses that they've had, they've been by 1 goal. So they are competitive. They're not getting blown out every single night. Yes, I know they got blown out by Tampa Bay, but that could happen to anybody. Tampa Bay back-to-back Stanley Cup champions, of course. It'll be Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen again for the Buffalo Sabres. Yes, there's a Finnish goaltender who's 6'5" with Pekka in his name. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, just 22 years old. He's been fantastic for them, despite the fact they're a terrible team. .922 save percentage, but it's 2.61 goals against average. That's a lot of goals to give up for a save percentage that's that high. So again, he doesn't have a whole lot of help backing him up. Will UC Saros get some rest on this one? You'd think that it's a bad team. We thought that against Arizona. Saros got the start. And as we saw, Saros absolutely needed to be in net for the Preds to get the victory against the Coyotes out west. I do expect Saros to come up in this one again. They have Boston and a matinee game on Saturday. Then they have back-to-backs coming Monday and Tuesday. So look for David Riddick to get one of those starts. I fully expect Saros to get Thursday night and Saturday afternoon. And then we'll see what John Hines does with the back-to-backs. So again, Preds, fantastic victory. Look ahead towards the Buffalo Sabres coming to town on Broadway. Charlie, take it away.
You can find him on Twitter at GreekGoalie35. You can watch him right here on Renegades of Puck TV. We're sure to appreciate having Mostradamus in the trenches with the Renegades of Puck. Let me tell you very quickly about Strong Style Fit. You can find Strong Style Fit on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, or you can go to strongstylefit.com. 150 workouts by a certified personal trainer now completely available to you on demand, and it's a donation-based service. A certified personal trainer that believes in her work so much that she's offering it to each and every one of you Renegades of Puck completely for free. Whether you've just started stretching or you're an expert already, believe me, she has a workout for you. And at the time of year when everybody is begging for your money and claiming your needs to be your New Year's resolutions to get happy, get healthy, get moving, get motivated, well, Tracy will allow you to do each and every one of those things without taking all of your money. Once you believe in the work, you can go ahead and make a donation, and she will be very happy to know that she has helped you out. Again, Strong Style Fit, incredible partner here of the Renegades of Puck, and we are so lucky to have such great partners in the trenches with us. Please go by, check out her site, check out the workouts, and get yourself motivated, get yourself moving, and get yourself healthy, Renegades. I sure do need each and every one of you in the trenches for the long haul, so appreciate Strong Style Fit. Sean C. Smith is somebody else that I appreciate very much. Sean C. Smith was on the front lines tonight at Bridgestone Arena for that incredible hockey game. You know where you can find his work. On theforecheck.com, almost any podcast across the landscape of Nashville Predators coverage right here on Renegades of Puck TV. Sean C. Smith has a follow-up on what happened with Mark Borowiecki injury and also some comments from the post-media scrum and his observations from the game itself. He is Sean C. Smith.
Thanks, Charlie. Hey, Renegades, it's Sean C. Smith. Just got back from Bridgestone after a pretty exciting overtime win against the Colorado Avalanche. Really nice to get a good win against a high-powered team, especially when that team isn't mostly missing due to COVID, as happened last time the two teams faced. Now, I'm here tonight to talk to you about the whole Mark Borowiecki situation, and I'm not particularly happy about it. Let me tell you why. First off, I'm not going to say that the Avalanche did anything wrong when it came to the shots they were taking or anything like that. The play wasn't blown dead. I don't expect anyone on that team to stop playing and go, oh, hey, we've got to stop playing, because, I mean, realistically, if they stop playing, the Predators could steal the puck and move on. I'm not saying the Predators would have done that either. I highly doubt it. I think they were a little bit more concerned about their fallen teammate on the ice. But here's the thing I do have a problem with. I'm aware that the rule says that the refs' discretion is what's going to come into play as to whether or not they blow that play dead and whether or not there's a whistle. I get it. That's fine. My problem is with two things. One of them is this. I think they should have blown that play dead. I don't like the fact that Borowiecki was sitting there totally unprotected and unable to protect himself. The play continued on around him. The man's lying in the slot, for God's sake. You go ahead and have Burakovsky take another shot, which probably going about 100 miles an hour. At the moment he takes that shot, Borowiecki's face is facing the puck. That's dangerous. I don't care whether he got hit in the body or he got hit in the head. The problem is he's hurt bad enough he can't defend himself. He can't get up and get out of the play. They should have blown it dead. I don't care if they scored a goal. I mean, that's not what I'm saying. The problem is they didn't stop the play. It wasn't a safe situation. Now, they scored a goal that made a play in. They were able to come out and attend Borowiecki, and that's great. My problem is I feel like that shouldn't have been a reason to wait. So let's just see what happens. Wait till we get a change of possession or something like that. That's not what's in the best interest of the safety of the players, and that's my main concern, okay? That's my number one problem with it. My number two problem is this, and I'm going to go ahead and say this. I don't like that the Avalanche celebrated their goal a few feet away from an injured player on the ice. Look, you've seen my 7-year-old son on this show. He plays Little League Baseball. I coach him in this team. We tell the kids when somebody gets injured, you take a knee. You take a knee when somebody goes down. Now, I know baseball is different than hockey, but sportsmanship's all the same here. You know, somebody's clearly and obviously injured. It should be a concern. You score a goal, it's exciting, you tie the game, have some class, and skate off the ice. If you want to celebrate, do it on the bench. You're going to look like a jerk there too, but at least you're not doing it a few feet away from somebody who's just been injured by someone on your team. Inadvertently, obviously, but it still happened. I don't think it's very classy. I don't think there's a lot of taste in doing that. Maybe it's the heat of the moment. They didn't really realize what's going on, but Burakovsky had enough awareness of what was going on to skate over to the side of Borowiecki to take that shot. So they knew he was down. Anyway, that's my problem with it. I just wrote an article about it over it on the Forecheck. You can check it out there. It's live. It's ready to go. It's not very long, and it's got a good video that goes along with it if you didn't get to see the team celebrating their goal after the injury. And I'm going to say, after the game, when we had a chance to talk to John Hines, he did explain that the referee came over and gave an official explanation to him. If he had been hit in the head, we would have stopped the play. That's fair enough. I get it. I don't like it, but at least they were willing to come over and explain it. I still don't think it was the right call. I still don't think it's safe. And at the time, Hines didn't have an official update on Borowiecki. He said he probably wouldn't have one until in the morning, but he did say, in his personal opinion, that he thought Boro would be fine. And I think that's nice to hear. Obviously, John Hines is not a medical professional, but he was there. He's talked to people. He has some idea as to what's going on. Now, when I say fine, I don't mean that he's going to be up and running. He's going to be ready to play, but it's not a serious long-term injury is what I think he's saying. So we'll see what the day brings to find out what a full injury update is going to be on Borowiecki. But until then, check out the article over it on the Forecheck. And I'm going to send it back over to you, Charlie.
You can find him on Twitter at SCSOTF. He is Sean C. Smith. He's got the intel that you need to know, and he was on the front lines tonight at Bridgestone Arena for one incredible hockey game. Sean, sure to appreciate you. Thank you so much for jumping in the trenches with the Renegades of Puck. Time for some of the numbers, and then you know where I'm kicking it over to the Renegade Analytics desk. First, let me tell you about the box score. Matt Duchene, 2 goals in this game. Tanner Jeannot with a goal. Luke Cunnin with 2 goals. Your assists go to Nick Cousins, Mikhail Granlund. Matt Luff picks up another assist. Colton Sissons gets an assist. Alex Carrier and the captain Roman Josi with 3. Your shots on goal leaders for this game. Luke Cunnin had 6. Matt Duchene also had 6. They carried the weight for the team. Roman Josi had 3. Alex Carrier also had 3 on net. Time on ice, Mikhail Granlund. We talk about him all the time and how many different situations he plays in. 518 on the power play, 113 shorthanded, 24-55 in total time on ice. Mikael Granlund is simply irreplaceable for this Nashville Predators team at this point. The captain, Roman Josi, picks up his unit with only 5D after the Borowiecki injury. Roman Josi ends up playing more minutes than even usual. Borowiecki only plays 7:23 in total time on ice in this game. Roman Josi filling in while there's only 5 defensemen, skates 29:44 in total time on ice, including 5:42 of power play time. Of course, we've already mentioned UC Saros a number of times, but 40 out of 44. Want to tell you about Stripe Digital Solutions. I have been emailing back and forth with Brandy at Stripe Digital Solutions, and we have some incredible things coming for you guys soon. Now, let me tell you about Stripe Digital Solutions, though. StripeDigitalSolutions.com is how you can find the company, or you can also go to social media, Facebook, Instagram. Stripe Digital Solutions not only help me create the logo that's on the wall behind me, the logo that you see on the jersey, but helps me maintain RenegadesOfPuck.com and is helping me create a plan to help build this brand to a new level. Just last night, Brandy sent me an entire set of emails talking about what we are going to be doing, the next step, our social media plan, how we need to be posting it, when we need to be posting it. These are the types of things that you just simply cannot do all by yourself. You need somebody to help you. In the day and age that we are, things are moving so fast, you need somebody to help you and help give you advice and help guide you. And that's what Stripe Digital Solutions does. And Brandy is so intelligent and so smart and so savvy about all of it. Just go to StripeDigitalSolutions.com and check out what they are doing. Just incredible people, incredible partners. And I'm so thankful here as the captain of the Renegades of Puck to have someone like Stripe Digital Solutions in the trenches with us. It means the absolute world. Now listen, I got to go to the Renegade Analytics desk, and I have got to talk to Brian Baston. We haven't talked to Brian in a little bit, so I'm glad he's back in the trenches with us. He's got one big stat. He's got the numbers you need to know. You can find him on Twitter at Brian Baston. You can check his charts out at ontheforecheck.com. And, of course, you can see him right here on Renegades of Puck TV.
Hey, thanks a lot, Charlie. And speaking of saying thanks, a big shout out goes out to the captain for sending me this number 89, of course, away Renegades of Puck sweater. This thing is very, very nice, and they'll be available to you all very, very soon. But first, let's talk some hockey. Whew! What a game, right? As soon as the Predators went up to an early 2-0 lead in the first period, nobody inside or out of Bridgestone Arena thought that lead was safe. Except this time, the skepticism wasn't necessary. Nashville matched the high-volume comeback attempt by Colorado, but the Predators proved that it could keep up with the Avalanche's high-powered attack and continued to push offensively. The Predators won this big matchup to stay on top of the Central Division, but my thoughts for the rest of the season are pretty much how I felt entering overtime. Can they finish? And that's the topic of tonight's One Big Stat. This season, the Nashville Predators have gone 6-2 when the game goes to overtime or a shootout. This isn't anything new under head coach John Hines. Nashville's impressive overtime and shootout record last season was the difference that put the Predators into the playoffs over the Dallas Stars. But how good are they in overtime really? Is it just UC Saros bailing the team out, or has somebody stepped up this season to take command in overtime? Let's take a look at the first question first. In this season and the last combined, Nashville is 15-4 in overtime or the shootout, a 92.1 winning percentage. That mark is good for second in the NHL, behind only the Vegas Golden Knights, who have gone 14-3. And that's not a coincidence. The OT units deployed by Coach Hines mix defensive responsibility with offensive pressure, and when you have talented goal scorers like Matt Duchene or Philip Forsberg or even Eeli Tolvanen, it's no coincidence that the Predators are excellent after regulation. And as for who is stepping up in overtime, well, it shouldn't be a surprise that the NHL's leader in game-winning goals in overtime this season is none other than the Predators' own Matt Duchene, whose 3 overtime goals, including tonight, is best in the entire league. He's also in a tie for third in the league in game-winning goals with 4. So the question was, can the Nashville Predators finish? Time will tell on this season, but the data sure seems to be pointing one way over the other, and that's tonight's One Big Stat.
Got the numbers you need to know, and he runs the Renegade Analytics desk. He is Brian Baston. I'm so appreciative of having Brian in the trenches with us right here on Renegades of Puck TV, and for having Brian now in the trenches for over 100 shows. Man, it's gone so fast. I can't believe how quick it has gone since recruiting the new class of Renegades of Puck. We're coming up on show 600 very quickly. Just a couple of more episodes to go. This is number 598. We appreciate each and every one of you over the years for jumping in the trenches with us. All of your support means the absolute world to us. And as we are building this brand new project into something that has never been seen and never been done before, we're going to go far beyond the borders of the state of Tennessee. We are going to take over the entirety of the hockey community, and we're looking forward to doing that with each and every one of your support. Heading out of the bunker for the evening, I want to close with this. It was one hell of a hockey game at Bridgestone Arena tonight. If you happen to be lucky enough to be a neutral observer, to be tuned into that one, and you probably wouldn't have, because the way people outside of Nashville talk about this Nashville Predators team, or I should say don't talk about this Nashville Predators team, you might not have been aware that there was a heavyweight Central Division tilt happening at Bridgestone Arena tonight between the first place Nashville Predators team and a team that everyone predicted to be in first place, the Colorado Avalanche. That was a great hockey game, back and forth all night long. 2-0 Preds, then 2-2, 3-2, 3-3, 4-3, 4-4, and then a 5-4 overtime finish. Incredible hockey tonight at Bridgestone Arena. If you were lucky enough to be in attendance, if that was your first game by some chance, you're hooked for life. That is what the glorious game does. And if you happen to be there and it was your millionth game, I bet you got the shivers up your spine, just like you did all the way back when you went to your first games. That's what hockey does. That was one incredible hockey game tonight at Bridgestone Arena. Lucky for Nashville Predators fans, the Preds were able to get the extra point, come out on top, and now they have secured their spot on top of the Central Division. They have beaten the Colorado Avalanche twice. They have beaten the St. Louis Blues. They have beaten the Minnesota Wild. Now it's up to the Nashville Predators to defend the high ground, to defend home turf. We were treated to something very special tonight at Bridgestone Arena, and I sure hope we have many more games like that. Is it stressful if you're cheering for one of the teams? It sure is. But as somebody who loves the glorious game and who loves the sport of hockey and has spent their entire life around the game, what we saw tonight at Bridgestone Arena was a treat for each and every one of us. I'm going to get out of the bunker. I'm going to go watch that game again because it was just that damn good. For Mostradamus, for Sean C. Smith, for Brian Baston, for Kay Perk, and for the Ultimate One, I am your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. Stick taps, love, respect.